Right.
I just got your fucking text, bro. Your snap just came through.
What's
Oh my
going on,
god.
everybody? Welcome back to Two Captains One Pod.
What kind of pod we're in, you decide. TGTC Studios here with Captain Hudson as always. And we're discussing you take Rathacon out of it. For nostalgia reasons. What is my favorite Star Trek film of all time? I love Undiscovered Country.
This is a great motherfucking movie.
Well, honestly, get to see the Excelsior out of space dock for the first time in like God knows how long.
Well,
get to see a side of the Klingons we've never seen before. Get to see, hear some Klingons joking and laughing for I would say what the first time in the franchise history.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then some of the most iconic lines, which have been reused and redone since this movie came out, up to and including, but not limited to, you have not experienced Shakespeare until you have heard him in the original Klingon. Which, according to director Nicholas Meyer, was something they got from... they were in Germany. And they were at that point in time, of course, it was East Germany they were in. And some German guy had told them, you have not experienced Shakespeare until you've heard him in the original German. And he had claimed that Shakespeare was from Germany instead of England.
Huh.
And that's where that line comes from.
Interesting.
So to whoever that German dude out there is, thank you for that line. I have quoted it 1,000 times, and I will quote it 1,000 more before my life ends. It is one of my absolute favorite lines in all of cinema history. I mean, there's some good ones. There's some absolutely good ones. I mean, you're up there with "I have the need for speed." You know, it's just one of those lines. You say it, and those who know it perk their ears up. They get that big smile on their face, and you connect with someone. It's one of those lines, and I think it's the best one in the movie. But I mean, it has some contenders. It's up there by like a minimal margin. You know, there's some really good lines from this movie. So a few we have probably quoted on this podcast, and a few we will definitely be quoting tonight.
Absolutely.
But last podcast with this beautiful maroon uniform. And I'm guessing last podcast with this specific bridge, right?
Probably.
Are we switching bridges after this?
Yeah, more than likely. Not that I want to, mind you, but
right.
It just makes canonical sense.
If you keep this bridge, I'll switch to the other one because I've been thinking about flying the galaxy anyways.
We'll see.
So, yeah. We got some fun for you guys tonight. The new mission, for those of you, for Star Trek Online, for those of you that watch and listen specifically for the game, the new episode is out. Yep. John, you and I got to play that. What did you think of it?
I thought it was amazing. It was great to see Jonathan Del Arco back.
Oh, absolutely.
Not to mention the twist at the end was shocking.
Absolutely. We're not going to spoil anything for you guys that love to keep spoilers away. So you get there on your own. You tell us what you think, because we've got a while before we get there as far as the podcast goes. So not spoiling anything, but that twist was threw me. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
not
gotta.
only did it throw me, but it floored me. What's going on? What's going to happen? What we will be facing as the future continues.
Yeah, we got a while to go yet.
But let's get started with this new mission, or with the mission we have tonight. The Iconian Wars.
Nope.
Oh, that's later.
That's
That's the next set of
much.
missions.
That's much later.
Much later. That's right. We're
The
fucking with the remix right
Solanae
now.
Dyson Sphere.
Heading on through.
And again, this is gonna get really RPG heavy.
Mm-hmm. But hey, me and you were just talking about this the other night.
Mm-hmm.
These missions should go a hell of a lot easier than they did the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, we don't need to do that. That's something different.
Guess I'm experiencing some kind of difficulty. Give me just a moment.
Oh no.
Well, it's not advancing the mission for me. Like, I can't talk to anybody, nothing.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna try just going in again.
Okay.
Because that's just gonna
I'll
be
wait for you
easier.
here before I talk to the scientist.
I don't know, maybe it's because, I don't know. And skip. Yep, there we go.
All right.
Alright, I'm coming. Fine, I guess I'll talk to him.
Oh shit.
That's better.
Do I have to?
Yes.
What's up, Dorcalus?
Welcome
I was
to
told
the
to talk to you.
Solanae Dyson Sphere. My name is Sub-Commander Cole. This
Oh,
is
is
the
it now?
main command center for Joint Alliance Command, a multi-species task force willing to work together toward a common goal, for now at least. The gateway you use to get here is in Republic space, so the Republic is taking the lead here as well. Our mission? To destroy the Omega particles this sphere creates, and neutralize its ability to generate more. The first scouts into the sphere confirmed that it was producing massive amounts of Omega particles for an unknown purpose.
Because
Given
that's
enough
not
time,
concerning at all.
this sphere could produce enough Omega particles to completely annihilate warp travel in all known quadrants of the galaxy. We thought this would be a sweep and clear operation, but we were waylaid by a species known as the Voth. The Voth claimed to be
Oh,
natives of the
yay,
Delta
these
Quadrant,
guys.
are extremely technologically advanced, and they want the sphere. Now we're in a fight for control. The Voth are determined to gather the Omega particles. We're still determining why, but this is a threat to all warp-capable civilizations. I can't stress enough how important it is that we stop the Voth and neutralize the Omega particles. There's a lot to do. Shall we get started?
Nah.
Well, actually, I was thinking about taking a break. How about that? Just gonna sit down right here and enjoy that blowing up in your fucking face. Touch grass, motherfucker.
Touch grass, get it up your ass.
There we go. These guys look like they're having a picnic. Oh, yeah.
Well, I've had my fun.
Alright. Return to ship. Let's go. Since we have to.
I guess.
We run missions here from Joint Command, the center of all Allied operations. This is the supply depot. We use it to ship supplies to our forces and to store any unusual or dangerous technologies we find here. This region is the minefield. It is used as a barrier to keep Voth forces out, although some still slip by.
Only some,
Much
though.
to do.
And this is the ion stream, a series of structures moving a high volume of
Wouldn't be
charged
Star Trek if
particles
everything worked.
and exotic radiation through
That's
the
a good
air.
point.
Each of these areas could use your help. Good luck.
What the
Not
shit?
a bored out encounter Farpoint ship in front of us.
Now I've done it.
Okay, but that looks cool as shit. But also terrifying as hell.
Right?
Alright, where you at? There you are. Catching up.
Do 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 do.
So one of the fun things about this movie is that it's subtly. Now, hold on. I want to preface this. Had a conversation with my cousins the other day. They were talking about the fact that they're tired that TV and movies have gotten so political, and I
Right.
had to inform them. TV and movies have been political since the dawn of TV and movies. It's always been political.
Exactly.
The only difference is they've gotten worse at hiding it. I would say.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek VI, one of the coolest things about it is that it's literally about the fall of the Berlin Wall and the collapse of Chernobyl and the USSR. The Klingon mining moon that blows up is literally Chernobyl blowing up. And, the Klingons needing to join the Federation is, the USSR coming apart and Russia joining, the United Nations. I knew
Indeed
some
it
of my
was.
shit wasn't set.
Mine was. It all went off. Nope. Whee!
Oh, okay. Is the gas count loud not our thingy?
No.
Okay.
Nope. We're still heading this way.
But yeah, funny enough, both of my favorite Star Trek movies directed by the same person, Nicholas Meyer. Fucking love Nicholas Meyer, honestly. He gave us some of the best stories,
Absolutely.
and something that would also shape Star Trek as it went on, because of course, by the time the movies were coming out, I think what was it, the third or fourth movie, Next Gen was already in full swing. It was going.
I thought it was like fourth or fifth.
fourth or fifth.
Because didn't Next Gen come out
But-
like 86?
Yeah, that's right. So it'd be the fifth movie then, or fourth movie. Next Gen is in full swing, right? So, and there's a fucking Klingon on the bridge of the Enterprise. What the fuck is going on? Well, now we have the movie that explains it.
Yep.
Oh, their mining moon blew up. Okay, well, they joined the Federation. Oh, okay. I guess that's
That makes sense.
okay, but well, how does Kirk feel about this? Oh,
Not great.
Well, Kirk feels about like Kirk. He's a man who his entire life we've been fighting the Klingons. So, I mean, that's all he's ever known. That's like asking a guy who's been fighting the USSR to be like, "Okay, let's be friends now."
Why can't we
Which,
be friends? Why can't we be friends?
A lot of military at that point in time had trouble doing. My father included. Because of course, the Cold War would still last from Chernobyl and all of that. The Cold War would still last until roughly 1995, if you want to get technical. But let's be honest here, it never ended. The Cold War's been going on since the 50s. But the official date is like somewhere in 95 is the end of the Cold War. My dad is full swing in the military at that point in time. So when they became friends with Russia, when we became quote-unquote, air quote, friends with Russia, my dad even had a hard time making that switch.
They say we're making history, but how can history ever get past people like me?
Exactly. It's like the age-old question, what does a man built for war do when peace is all there is?
Where's this dumbass tower?
I have no idea. I mean, my little yellow arrow says this way. But we get to see a different side of each of the characters in this film, I think, as well, which is another reason I love it so much. Is that we've been so used to how these characters are that this is the first real challenge they've ever had. Because, I mean, it's easy. Get on the bridge in the Enterprise, blow up some Klingons. Simple. It's easy stuff. But now it's a real challenge. What do? We're supposed to befriend them now. How does that work? What's going on?
Right.
But yeah, now it's like this is the first real challenge that we've ever had for this crew, and how are they really going to face it? Because, I mean, the original series and the original movies, we knew that Kirk took the Kobayashi Maru. We knew that he cheated. We knew that the no-win scenario was beaten by the captain, but we never saw it. We never realized how he did it. But how is he really going to deal with a real no-win situation? A real no-win scenario? And one of the other favorite lines, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? I just did all this.
Just a second, I've got to do it too.
Okay.
Into the minefield we go.
How can I trust them? They killed my son. You know, not only are we dealing with a guy who his entire life
I've never
has been
trusted
beefing with
Klingons, and I never will.
Yeah.
How could I forgive them for the death of my boy?
What they did. Yeah. But, so, not only is it that for him, but no, it's worse now because he's also a grieving father on top of it. Oh, how do we do it? So I love this movie. You get to see a new side of Kirk, something that works, or something that we haven't seen before. And seeing Kirk in a true challenge of his life. I'm on my way over there. I got stopped. Someone shot at me, so it put me in red alert.
Congratulations, Captain.
I'll wait till you complete the mission.
Yep, I'm doing it now. I'm just gonna find the...
Are you done with it?
Not yet. It gave me, like... one of them, and then, like, I'm not finding a second. Okay, there they are. They're finally showing up for me now. My internet's glitching on me.
It happens. But yeah, I mean, and it's such a compelling story, too.
Right. And we get to see Sulu all grown up and on his own command. You know, getting to finally do Sulu stuff.
Right.
Oh, that's not one of those.
I mean, I'm sitting right where one of them should be.
Yeah, I already scanned that one. There we go, there's the third one. Okay, got it complete. We are done with that part.
Right.
Back to the other side.
Yep. No. Come about.
No. Shit, okay. Turning back around.
We're heading to the contested zone. You know, the place that we don't fucking like.
Right. Yeah.
The poison for Cusco. The poison is made specifically to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Cusco's poison. That poison?
Yes, that poison.
Poison. Oh yeah, got it right here. Let's see, I think this is also the first time we get to see real Klingon blood, right? And we get the confirmation that it truly is pink.
It's Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, might as well be shit.
It is not just pink. It is the color and consistency
here are in a
of
constant
Pepto fucking
conflict
Bismol.
with the Voth.
Like, if you look at it, it looks like
There are
Pepto.
5 fronts in the zone, and each of them needs.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
We are fighting the Voth over towers that are.
But like to say that Klingon blood is Pepto Bismol just like makes me laugh because it's just like, well, that's why Klingons never get sick. They have the.
They've got Pepto Bismol flowing through their veins, brother.
They got the upset stomach diarrhea shit medicine flowing through. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Oh fuck, that's right. This is the side we gotta fucking. God.
Well, first things first, we gotta go beam down to the battle zone.
That's right. I know I was given a new engine, so I'm going to. Yes, I accepted your fucking mission. Fuck off.
That's my fault. I made it primary. What in the hell was that?
I have no idea, and I would love not to find out.
Sounds like a whole lot of not my motherfucking problem.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard. It translated into English for me, and it said, "No, don't worry about me." I said, "Okay."
Translated, it said, "Not your fucking problem. Get the fuck out of here, you little bitch."
What is with my ship? Okay, there we go. Finally, you're letting me go at fucking full impulse.
Oh, now you're starting to catch up.
Right.
Slowly but surely.
I'll make it there by Stardate Christmas.
Yeah, you might be late for Christmas.
Shit. Well, at least I'll be home for New Year's.
I'd give it a couple weeks after New Year's.
God damn it.
God damn it. I tell you what, shitty boy.
Hi guys, I made it. I'm here.
Boom.
Enter the zone.
Ready.
Okay, shit. I'll click ready. Fuck. Gave me 3
I had
people.
to. Only gave me one.
This is the Voth battle zone. Our goal is to take control of at least one Omega particle silo. Here's how we do it. This is a map of the battle zone. There are 3 regions, each made up of multiple capture points. When the Voth hold a capture point, it is red. When we take control of a capture point, it will change to blue. Capturing points advances us towards our goal, represented by this meter. When it is full,
What?
final push to stop the Voth at the Omega particle silo.
You mean to tell me when we do things we're supposed to do, it gets us towards the end of our goal? No way.
Not that we're gonna worry about this bullshit anyhow.
Right. I'm only doing enough to get me the hell out of this Dyson sphere, and then I'm never coming back.
Yeah, because it's our least favorite bullshit coming up next.
Alright, so leave battle zone, right? That's what we click.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've already turned in the mission.
You're right, yeah. I think so. I mean, it already let me accept the next mission, so I'm pretty sure. Alright, which one are we going to first?
Ah, fuck. I don't think it matters. So we'll go this way.
One shitstorm for another shitstorm.
Pretty much.
Again, for those of you that are watching us, want to play Star Trek Online, want to get into Star Trek Online,
This
don't
part
hesitate to
fucking
join us, guys.
sucks.
But yeah, this part sucks. So if you're having trouble with it, hey, we'll come in, we'll help you get through it. You know,
Just reach out.
yeah. As much as I hate coming here, I would rather help someone do the work so they can get the fuck out of here than not. You know, I'm a nice guy.
Yep.
What I want to be.
Every now and again, you have your moments. I am making my way as fast as I fucking can.
You know, I gotta be honest, I miss some of the consoles on my other ships.
I mean, hey, we're already at 40%. Can't complain about that. I guess you could, but I don't know why you would.
It took us, what, 3.5 hours to get to 40% last time?
Oh, gosh.
God, how fucking long were we in here? Because it was a long time.
We were in here for at least a day. Like, not a full 24 hours, but at least one day of fucking around. And look at that. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm pissed.
No fucking shit.
Yeah, that was it. I am so mad right now. That was ridiculous.
It took, yeah. Oh my.
We were in this for fucking, like, 2 goddamn business days.
Yeah, legitimately. And now, what?
And we just completed it in 5 seconds.
Yeah, pretty much. Shit.
Are you fucking kidding me? This game sometimes, I swear to God.
I swear to God.
God.
But again, I mean, hell, we were talking about how the fact the last time we were here, I was in a free to play shit.
That's true. You know? Like, not like you were well, shall we say, pay to win yet?
Yeah. I was
not that I'm endorsing pay to win, but if this game is pay to win, I'll pay to fucking win. I don't give a shit.
It fucking helps. You know.
Well, I've already accepted the next mission, so we can go ahead and go to that.
A step between stars, transwarping now.
Get the fuck out of here. That was timed pretty perfectly.
Oh yeah, it was. It was beautiful.
Begin a step between stars.
No.
Beginning now.
God damn, that pissed me off.
But yeah, I mean, look, I was free to play ship with a free to play consoles.
I really thought that would still take longer.
Honestly, me too, though. I thought it was going to be at least 30 minutes. I was pretty sure the majority of our podcast was going to happen on that one mission alone. And I was not going to be happy about it.
I feel an odd sense of accomplishment that feels wrong.
Yes.
It feels wrong to feel this sense of accomplishment.
It's imposter syndrome for getting that mission done as quickly as we did. That's exactly what this is. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Go down to the Zen store and go down to the
Oh, right. This is a single player mission. We don't get to see each other.
Oh, that sucks.
My Zen store's taking a minute to load.
Yeah, so is mine, so I'm just going to go with the mission and do it when I get out of here. Because remember, we haven't accepted anything on these accounts, and they got some new stuff out for the anniversary event. A new episode.
Yeah. Well, some of that stuff you can only claim on one character.
True, but I know there were some of them that I was able to accept on my Peter Griffin account as well. Because after I finished Titanic, I got on here for a little bit to fuck around with my Peter Griffin account.
For those of you who have no idea what he's talking about Minecraft.
Yeah. I built Titanic on Minecraft at 1/1 scale. It's phenomenal.
Good to see you again. Nellen Exel, the Voth scientist who joined your crew, has provided information vital. Admiral Tuvok from Star...
Uh-oh. Try 6.
Yeah, Admiral Tuvok's in trouble, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but in full time that I've done everything on it, it's been...
The attack on the Voth fleet will commence shortly. Captains, please return to your ships.
With an entire
I mean, I took a year break from it, yeah, but
Speak with the...
beside the point. Sorry, guys, talking to my wife about the Titanic right now. We got one of our friends over. Her name is Naomi, and she's cool. She's good people. But yeah. let's see. Oh yeah, we wanted to also talk a little bit about Generations, like the first 20 minutes of Generations.
Yeah.
This episode, right?
That way we don't have to,
Yeah.
mess around with that later.
I will say Generations has my favorite scene of all time.
Which scene is that?
Of all Star Trek, and that is...
Is Generations the one with Picard?
It's the one where it starts off with Kirk, Chekhov, and Scotty, and then switches to Picard.
Yes. Is it the scene where he's the admiral of the ship?
No.
What?
Or the captain of the boat? The actual boat?
Stop. No, not that scene.
That's a good scene, but no, that's not.
That
I
is
don't
a
think
great
that's...
scene, but that is not. That's not my favorite. No, my absolute favorite scene in all of Star Trek is the opening scene. The bottle, the
wine
champagne bottle flying through space, and then hitting the side of the Enterprise beam.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so absolutely just iconic.
As she's christened.
Yes, the christening scene is just so iconic, and then again, that.
Not until Tuesday.
That movie has... I used to have a job where we would get a truck every fucking Tuesday. And
so you got to say that like on a daily damn basis.
There was this guy who came in, and funny enough, he's a Star Trek guy. He has Star Trek stickers all over his car. Me and him became really good friends. But... okay, it was an auto shop, auto parts store, and he was like, okay, I need parts for this car, I need this. I was like, you're not gonna believe, like,
you're never gonna fucking believe this.
I'm over here like, well, we won't get any more of those till Tuesday, and then it's like, looks like we won't be getting any more of them till Tuesday, and like finally, like the fifth part, he goes, let me guess. Tuesday? And we both just kind of shared that look with each other, just kind of like, laughed a little bit about
Tuesday?
it. And it was just, that sequence of lines is probably the funniest shit and the hardest I've laughed at Star Trek. Mind you, again, I still have not seen Strange New Worlds and the Lower Decks.
Oh god, that was so goddamn hilarious. Holy shit.
But I gotta say, that scene was probably the hardest I've laughed at Star Trek so far.
Dr. Eric Cooper, Federation Science Council's expert on Dyson technology.
Yes.
Oh shit, it's this mission.
Yeah, where we get the suits.
Yeah, get the cool looking suits.
And then once we're done, I'm gonna play this mission like 4 more frickin' times so I can have my entire away team outfitted.
That was not fun.
Use the station's automated defenses to ease
that was fun.
odds.
I don't know.
I have it. The ship has.
We're moving away from the Voth, right?
One can only hope, Cooper. You whiny little shit.
Good thing you're here. I'll try to get the ship.
Can we get rid of him?
I sense another
How about
presence.
cause, Michael?
I have
cause. It is because I hate him.
I just want to toss him out of an airlock, Tuvok, stop running around, you little dick. God damn it, I turn to face him and he fucking starts running around me. And I'm fucking turn like, stop running, damn it.
You're giving me a phaser?
Against my better judgment, Cooper, yes, I'm giving you a goddamn phaser.
I'm not, fuck that.
Against my better judgment.
It's in a baby.
I thought
It's
I saw something.
Jesus, Cooper.
Remain calm, Doctor.
I like how Tuvok even gets fed up with his shit as a Vulcan does.
Right? Like, Tuvok, it's okay. Picard said
he
it.
doesn't sound
Shut up,
pissed, but
Wesley.
you could he doesn't sound pissed, but you could tell he's just like, oh my fucking god, shut your mouth
Yeah.
before I pop you.
Shut up,
I will
Cooper.
stand watch while you and the doctor.
Say that's what she said one more time, and I'm gonna pop you. Like he's that kind of annoyed.
I'm about to pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans. Hey
Hey
Cooper,
Farva,
what's
hey
your favorite
Farva.
place?
Yeah. What's the name of that restaurant that has the mozzarella sticks?
No,
Or
goofy
what's
shit
the
on the walls.
what's the name of that restaurant with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks? You mean Shenanigans?
Oh,
That's another great movie. Not that we're here to talk about that movie, but that is another great movie. Yellow. Where the fuck is Yellow? Ah. Yes. Yes, indeed.
That's right.
Yellow. Red.
That's right.
Blue. Make it blue. Make it pink. Make it blue. Make it pink.
Downside his daughter never completes.
let's see.
She works as a vet tech, 12-hour shifts, 12 to 14-hour shifts on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Restarting the station's power.
She works at
That looks important.
Tyler Emergency Dental Clinic. So she works out in Tyler.
Well, that's not concerning at all.
This does not bode well.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Stop panicking, man. We need your help.
By restoring
Get it together, Cooper.
I will not die here because of your insolence.
We'll be here. What could I do?
Or I will not die here because of your idiocy.
Yell at me. I don't do well under pressure. You're trained to think under fire. Then
Let's see. I pulled up some more facts about Star Trek 6, so we can get into those.
I think if I try this.
It was Kim Cattrall's, I think, first and only foray into the Star Trek universe.
I'm working.
Really?
Yeah, she played Valeris.
Well, I know that, but I didn't know it was like her only.
I said I think. I am not, like, I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure she hasn't been in Star Trek since.
Maybe I could.
allow me. Instead of activating
I'll definitely have to
defenses
look that up.
I can activate
Because, you
the-
know, typically Trek is really good about, like, if you're in one, they'll definitely try to bring you back for as many as you're open to, you know?
Right, and it may have just have been like she just wasn't open to it, but like she had fun doing that one. I don't know.
Right.
I haven't heard. I'm pretty sure she hasn't been in any others, but
Just
I
look
don't-
up Undiscovered Country.
More ball and bound. Prepare yourself.
She's been in any other Trek.
like I said, I don't think she has, but I could be very mistaken on that.
Hannah's looking it up right now for us. Our unofficial guest star.
Right?
The unofficial repetitive guest star.
Recurring.
She's in Sex and the City.
Yeah, that much we knew.
Yeah, like she's kind of like one of the main characters, so.
I've never seen it. I don't like
Die, you big lizard reptile bastard.
Shit.
Okay, gotta run before those beams activate again.
it. She was in a different Star something show called Invasion in '97. She only appeared for 2 episodes.
So she was never again in Trek.
Okay, so I was right.
Not that I've seen. I'm still only in the 90s in her IMDb though. She was also in The Outer Limits for 1
Arm yourself.
episode.
That's
which
not
is another
Kill the captain.
something.
Because I really don't think she was in Next Gen.
Right.
Like, I'm like 90% sure I would have remembered her being in Next Gen.
Yep, nope, she wasn't in any more Trek.
Okay, so
Okay.
I was right.
Yeah, okay.
I love it when a plan comes together.
But hey, you know, I mean, her time in Trek in this movie is absolutely phenomenal. Great character.
I mean, Well, I mean, you know, hot Vulcan. You know, you gotta have it.
I mean, most Vulcans are. Look, I got a thing for Vulcans. I'll be the first to say it.
Well, I mean, you had to have another hot Vulcan to replace Savick.
It would appear.
Look,
all that is
Robin
between us and our
Curtis,
goal,
okay,
the vacuum of space.
hot.
My
Christy
modification,
Alley,
no
hot.
response.
Oh.
Savick is
For
just
my reasons,
fucking
there is no
hot.
method of direct access.
I'm here. I'm here. Wait.
Doctor, we require a way to access.
But yeah, I mean, and you had to have another token hot Vulcan after that.
I have
Right.
Hence why we got Savick. Or not Savick, Polaris. Damn it. Fuck.
Polaris, yeah.
Fuck, cock, shit, stupid motherfucker.
And they should be able to withstand the heat of the sun.
Should.
Well, nothing
Should?
can withstand
Here
that
comes the
much
EV
radiation
suit.
long. The suits appear to be designed for use in the shadow of the station
Should? I'm not sure I like the uncertainty of that should, jackass.
for a little while.
They will have to suffice. We have no other logical option.
Fucking Cooper. Well, I mean, at most, I'll have to go through it at least twice more after we're done here.
Right.
That way I have enough for
Me? Of course not.
everybody who would
It's
be
far too
going
risky
with
for
me.
to go out there.
We will need to convince Cooper to overcome his fear and help us complete our mission.
Oh, Cooper. Cooper. You either get in there, or I'm gonna shoot you.
Do you really need me out there? Internal comms are still active. I could just tell you what the Voth. I thought you defeated them all. They're not going to come back, are they? Okay, I'll do it.
Come with me if you want to live.
You know what? We know exactly.
Here we go.
Forgot how to control this damn thing.
It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure your camera's pointed exactly where you want it to go. And then to stop, you just pull the stick in the other direction.
Right.
But that has all the Vader's stuff in it. So where Vader's going to go?
There is a large amount of debris blocking it. There are two options.
Yeah, the one that we use for storage.
Yeah, I'm on it too, Buck.
I think we're about in the same area right now.
Flying over the station.
Setting the charge right now to blow the shit out of the way.
See, I'm grabbing the charges.
Ah, I just did. Yeah.
So we're not too far behind each other.
Too far behind. Yeah.
Downside is
Setting
we
off
didn't
off
do that,
charge.
and now we're stuck with all the I feel like when our let doesn't work, I'm just going to take away that stick. I'm not going to be correct about it, but it's right in front of that door.
I suggest flying a safe distance before activating the charges.
You know, Tuvok, that sounds like a fan-fucking-tastic idea. I like this idea. No, really? I was gonna set my face right on the explosives as they went off. I thought that might be a fun idea to try.
Right.
Stupid pointy-eared bastard.
You're not really on Diana's schedule for
Oh, here we go. Releasing one lock.
The door is sealed. Any ideas, Doctor?
Releasing second.
Be a manual release for the locks above us.
I will establish a shield.
You do that, Tuvok. I had no idea that Tuvok was, or I guess, well, not no idea, but I forgot that Tuvok was in Deep Space Nine as Tuvok.
Oh yeah.
It was like one of the mirror
guest stars a
episodes.
couple Yeah.
And I those episodes the other day, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's Tuvok. Shouldn't he be on Voyager?
Hey,
Oh. I was like, shouldn't he be on Voyager? Oh,
First
yeah.
time we get to see the actor for Tuvok. He's in the
Tim
background.
Russ. Yep.
Wearing a, what was he? He was wearing,
Engineering ensign.
He wasn't engineering. He was,
Yeah.
He was engineering?
Yeah. It was yellow. Or gold, or whatever fucking color you want.
Are you gonna help me pay bills?
God damn it, I keep over or undershooting the fucking door.
I'm on the lease. I pay the bills.
These suits are fried.
No.
I doubt they'll be much use anymore.
Your AV suit does not protect you in combat. Re-equip your body armor now.
Run, motherfucker, run!
Run, bitch! Run!
Something has closed the doors. Most unsettling.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Oh, shit.
We should move forward before more defenses activate.
But I've been working for months with that dog to get him to move. If I come back and he is longer and longer than I want, or he's not all fucking chill to the dryer, that worked so hard to get him to move.
Use caution. Bring those shields.
Big, got it.
Which direction did it give you?
Should provide a measure of safety.
I went to the left and then the right.
Like, did it give you the room with the sun?
Yeah.
Like the failing
Yeah, it gave
shields?
it- yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how difficult this must have, like, actually have been? Just with, like, how hot it would
Right.
get? Between the radiation and whatnot?
This is my range. Now I understand what you want.
Talk about a sunburn from hell.
Our destination.
For real.
Here we go.
We must power down the room's shielding to access the control panels. The doctor and I will continue our work while you disable the lower panels.
Here we gotta dodge these laser beams.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid laser beams.
Let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. Star Trek 6 was almost a prequel.
That sounds about right.
And
I
it
mean-
has everything to do with the fifth film. Let's see. Can you... do
I
the
mean, it's
thing?
still technically a prequel.
Technically. Let's see. After the failure of Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, producers Harv Bennett and Ralph Winter went back to the drawing board, with Bennett crafting a fairly bold pitch. According to Bennett, the proposal film would have told the tale of how Kirk and Spock first met. This new film caused division between Bennett and the original cast, with William Shatner in the behind-the-scenes feature on the DVD commenting that it truly made him and the rest of the cast feel old. The project was canceled, though we did eventually get a pretty solid origin film in the 2009 Star Trek.
Doctor, I'm detecting something curious. Energy levels in the gateway in front of us are rising at an
See Walter
exponential rate.
Koenig's scrap
It appears
draft.
to be activating.
Let me check.
Let me talk to Cooper real quick.
This is not good. The gateway is designed to be an escape hatch in the event this station goes offline. We cannot deactivate the jump protocols without activating the gateway as well.
Is there any way to override the protocols?
None that I can see. If we want to stop the jump...
So this is William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and even James Doohan had done work behind the scenes of Star Trek films. So Chekhov actor Walter Koenig decided to take a stab at it. Koenig penned an outline for Star Trek VI, which just so happened to be even darker than the one fans got. In Koenig's pitch, which he detailed at a convention in North Carolina in '91, the crew were all retired, except for Spock, who commands a new crew. When a xenomorph-like alien race took over Spock's ship, the old crew must save them. With the resulting bloodbath only sparing Spock and McCoy, the producers rejected the pitch and brought in Wrath of Khan director Nicholas Meyer. Holy shit!
All of your systems restored.
I mean, yeah.
Distortion disruptions. Do you need transport?
Ain't that something?
I want to get off this station now.
We are ready to depart. Chief, do you have a lock?
And now the station's falling apart.
Dyson, 3 to be on.
You can't get a lock. You need to get out of the hot zone. Move!
Run, motherfucker, run!
Run, bitch! Run! I heard that echo from whatever device you're listening on.
I'm trying to keep it quiet on my phone.
I think just my run, bitch, run ended up just being so loud that I heard it.
Right. Let's
Shut
see,
up,
William
Cooper.
Shatner
Nobody asked
disliked
you.
Kirk's racism. Well, damn, one of the things that I honestly... Yes, I get racism in a movie is hard to deal with, especially as an actor, but I think
But it's
space
racism.
And I think it's very much a growing point for Kirk, and I think it's very vital to Kirk's character that this was even a thing. So, I mean, I understand disliking it as an actor. I mean, think about Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained. I mean, that man had to stare Jamie Foxx in the face and you know, say a certain word, you know.
A certain word that us pasty folks aren't allowed to say.
Are not allowed to say, you know, and he had such trouble doing that. I mean, hell, I'm sure you've seen some of the interviews that Jamie Foxx has done on that, and how him and Samuel L. Jackson tried to get DiCaprio over that.
Have you on board, sir? I'm Chief Engineer Tarver.
You know what I would have done? I would have gave the man like a card that said, you know.
N-word pass.
Yeah, I would have given him a freaking N-word pass. This ship.
Nice little ship. Turns very well.
Oh yeah, no, it turns great, especially when you pop it into tactical mode.
Oh yeah.
But you could see how heavily it was inspired by another starship we all know and love.
Oh yeah.
Which we'll be getting to that later.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go, bitch. How you like that, apples?
Absolutely.
Motherfucker!
Alright.
Enter the gateway.
Navigational readings indicate
And now,
in the Delta
a special location from one of my favorite episodes of The Next Generation.
There are no. This sphere was discovered by the crew of the USS Genoa in 2294.
The Genolan Dyson Sphere.
Montgomery Scott, a survivor of the Genolan 75. I'm detecting disabled systems on board.
Where they found Captain Scott.
I knew someone would find us. We were on a routine survey in the
Oh,
Genoa
yeah.
Dyson Sphere when something happened. My nav computer
One of my
glad to
favorite
have
episodes
another
of Next Gen,
shipset
and I will be talking about that in the next episode.
Yeah.
Let's see. According to Star Trek Movie Memories, Shatner's autobiography, there were issues on the set when it came to Meyer writing the human cast as having prejudiced views on the Klingons. For example, William Shatner has recalled how Uhura actress Nichelle Nichols refused to deliver a line that was a reference to outdated racist rhetoric. Another thing Shatner took issue with was Kirk begging Spock to just let the Klingons die.
The Voss are
And behind the scenes on the DVD, Shatner said that he added a gesture to indicate that Kirk didn't really mean this. But Meyer had this bit taken out, despite allegedly promising to keep it in.
You're not. You're not Cooper.
Jim, they are dying. Let them die. Has it ever occurred to you? And that's another one of the great lines in that movie.
Oh yeah, because I mean there are just times, you know, let them die. You know, the way he delivers that line with just a whisper, but you can tell he's basically yelling it without yelling it.
Jim, they are dying. Let them die. Has it occurred to you that this crew is due to stand down in 3 months? We've done our bit for King and Country. You should have trusted me.
I am unharmed, but we are in danger. We are deep within the Delta Quadrant, right where Cooper wanted us. We do
Because
not know
Cooper's
how
a
long this
backstabbing
infiltrator has
fuck. I
been
should have never given his ass a
or the
phaser.
extent of what he has done. However, I am quite familiar with the tactics of species 8472.
Ooh,
We will repel the Undine and survive to warn the Alpha Quadrant of
let's
the new
go,
threat.
let's go.
Finally, a worthy adversary for my new ship.
Down to 40. No, how the hell did he go back up? Get over here and die.
I remember the first time I saw this little ship when I played for the first time.
Yeah.
I damn near shit my pants. I was like, what the hell is this thing? Plus, it was a lot more powerful than my, at the time, free-to-play ships.
Right.
Because, I mean, at that time, which was arguably like 10 years ago,
They are extremely dangerous.
like, I had... Oh, man. You were a lot higher level by the time you got to this particular mission.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, this mission used to be a lot further along in the story.
Oh wow. I just got defeated. What the hell?
Like, you used to be at least a rear admiral, if not a vice admiral, by the time you got here.
Oh wow. So you're basically almost done with the story then.
Not really. It's just the leveling system was a lot harder to level up back in the day. And there was a lot more missions back in the day too. You have to remember that part.
Right.
Like you still get to Fleet Admiral by the time you actually get to some of the more recent stuff. But back in the day, like that took a while. Like you had a lot more. And there's some missions that they took out that you can't even play anymore.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Like there was one where the Klingons would be like, the Klingons have kidnapped Moral Paris.
Oh wow.
And like revered her as some kind of religious, like she had some kind of religious significance if I remember right. Being born on the way back to the Alpha Quadrant from the Delta Quadrant. Like it had something to do with that. If I'm remembering right. I could very well be remembering that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But yeah, there's a lot more like that were just that ended up just getting taken out.
None of the Undine get through.
Yeah.
Plus missions that they just took out of the regular story continuity. You could still play them, like once you reach a certain level and whatnot.
Right, like we've done a couple times.
Yeah. Like there's a whole Breen Preserver storyline. There's a storyline where the Lost Dominion fleet ends up coming back.
Oh shit.
There is a Nimbus 3 storyline.
Oh no. Oh yeah. We played some of them, right?
Yeah, we played a little bit of that. But there's a lot. I think one of my favorites is actually the one where the Lost Dominion fleet comes back, the one that disappeared in the wormhole when they were about to retake Deep Space Nine. So that's actually where we get Loris. That's where she ends up coming into the story.
Okay. Die again because this damn Undine Rift.
Because she was in command of that fleet. And then that's how the female changeling actually ends up getting out of jail. Was you have to free her to tell Loris to stand down. Yeah, a little bit of Star Trek online knowledge for you there. Yeah, because I was playing this game long before it ever came out on console.
Right.
And it didn't even come out on console till I was maybe almost a year out of high school.
Oh wow.
No, it came out like right after I got out of high school.
So what, like 2016, 2017, right?
It was like August of 2017, August or September of 2017, that Star Trek Online finally came to console.
Oh wow.
So it was about it's been on console for about 8 years. And of course, I played on PC at least 3 years before that, because I've been playing this game for at least 10 years. Ever since I found out about it.
Who are we playing about?
But as soon as I found out there was a game where you could create your own Star Trek character and have your own ship and everything, I was like, sign me the hell up.
Right. I found out about it in 2016 on at the 50th anniversary tour, because at that point in time, Chase, who plays the ever lovely Lita,
Chase Masterson,
was giving out little cards where you could have Lita as one of your characters on your ship. And I still have that somewhere.
Like a Hollow Lita bridge officer?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure. I've still got it somewhere. I know that. But I'm not sure where it is.
Well, that would have been right about, yeah, well, maybe not.
But I know when I went to go find Star Trek Online, at that point in time when I found out about it and got the card, it was only on PC, and unfortunately, the computer that I had was not good enough to play games on.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, like, I had, like, the computers we had in high school that were in, like, our library and our computer lab, like, they ran it pretty well. Like, they wouldn't run it great, but they could run them pretty well. Then I even had a laptop in high school. This was like the only game I had on it.
Right.
That was before I got my Steam library up to the 5 or 6 fucking pages it is now.
But also, I mean, like, I haven't really, I didn't know how to really play this game or anything like that. It's, foreign to me at the time.
Absolutely.
So,
well, I mean, and like I said,
it
came out to console like a year later.
Yeah. But by that time, I think I'd completely forgotten about it. So much was going on, I mean.
Right.
Because at that point in time in my life, there was everything. I was playing baseball. On my way to the minor leagues until I injured myself and had that opportunity taken away. So
it happens.
There was getting ready to go to medical school, because I was like a few courses away from being able to officially go into medical school at that point in time. So, like, with everything going on, yeah, I absolutely just forgot that it even existed.
Right.
And then, every now and then, like I said, I'd see things for it, but I'd remember that I didn't know how to play it, so I was like, And then I met you, and then you were like, hey, you should check it out. I was like, I have no idea how to play it. You're like, I'll show you, and now here we are.
And here we fucking are. It's amazing how these things work out sometimes.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, and like I said, I've been playing this game for like the last 10 fucking years. So I know just about, like, there are some stuff like that I just have no clue because I've just never messed with it, because I've always been a story kind of guy. Like, I play video games, even MMOs and RPGs. I play them purely for the story.
Right.
And this game has got some fucking story behind it.
And see, for me, the one that got me with the storyline was DC Universe Online, because that's where, most of my knowledge is comic books, let's be honest here.
Right.
I've got sports knowledge, I've got Star Trek knowledge, but barely anybody can do circles around me when it comes to comic books, especially DC. Now, I'll be the first to say, I'm not saying when it comes to DC I know everything. No, there's a shit ton I don't know, but when it comes to certain characters, I love meeting the people that do know more than me, because I get to learn something new today.
Absolutely. And when it comes to Star Trek, at least most Star Trek, I have encyclopedic knowledge.
Right. Hey, Jarek, how are you?
Commander Jirok.
Oh? Are you prepared to back that?
Spear is already claimed by the Federation.
The Romulan Republic will, however, I will...
Cooper's departure has lifted the miasma. We have fulfilled...
You know, Klingon, you're lucky that Tuvok talked me out of it, because I'm about to whoop your fucking ass.
Control. This sphere is only accessible through an Alliance-controlled gateway.
Then perhaps it is time to end this alliance.
This is neither the time nor the place for this.
Commander Jirok is correct. The Undine are a threat to
Let's see, the alternate opening for Star Trek VI. And Nicholas Meyer and writer Denny Finn's original draft, which they detailed on the DVD's making of the documentary, the personal lives of the core 7 crew members would have been explored. For example, Spock would play Polonus in a Vulcan version of Hamlet. McCoy would get hammered at a medical gathering. And Kirk would be married to Carol Marcus from Wrath of Khan. Also, we're a host of call-in radio show. Chekhov becomes a chess player. Scotty teaches engineering, and Sulu originally worked as a taxi driver on an alien planet before being rewritten as a captain.
Huh.
Paramount demanded the opening be rewritten, as the opening would have upped the budget. That kind of sucks, though.
Right?
That opening's like fucking cool. I would have loved to see more of their personal lives, but that's just me.
Congratulations, Captain.
Absolutely.
And this is me using the light as I use it to
Okay, I'm gonna let TGTCs talk at you for a little bit. I've got to go grab a drink, so I shall return momentarily.
You're mine now, suckers. Now let's
Be
see.
nice.
We got some more facts for you guys. I'll be nice. Let's see this torpedo launch. Yeah, get some torpedoes rather than mines, because I don't like the mines.
And like I haven't even opened this one, but that's because I'm still working through the box that I have on her. And
Got some new lock boxes? Let's fucking
I'm
go.
Get more of the brand that I normally get, which I get Parents' Choice. That's gonna be cheaper.
Let's see, the sets were repurposed from TNG. We know that. I've been on that. Let's come back up. December 6, 1991 saw one of the darkest Star Trek films meet the eyes of millions of fans. Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, is considered to be among the best Star Trek films ever made, serving as a final hurrah for the cast of the original series. Given that it was going to be a final adventure for William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, and more, it's understandable that there was a lot going on behind the scenes to ensure they'd get a strong farewell. I mean, come on. This movie doesn't get any... I mean, sure, there are things that we're learning that could have been better. 100%. But this movie is just one of the best movies
It really is.
Star Trek has ever had. You back?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. The sets were repurposed from TNG, which, of course, we knew that.
Yep. The engine room, 10 forward, transporter room.
Dude, I gotta reset all my traits again. What the hell?
Which is kind of fitting, because if you think about it, TNG repurposed some original series stuff.
Right. That survived, of course, because, I mean, as we know, a lot of that, unfortunately, did not survive.
Well, I mean, they repurposed a lot of the original series film stuff.
Yeah.
Like, not the actual original series, but...
Right.
The film. Like, they... Because I think... Yeah, because it came out after Star Trek 3. So, they completely repurposed the original, or I guess the refit Enterprise bridge set, and turned that into the battle bridge.
Right.
They repurposed the quarters. I know that.
Right.
I don't remember what else they repurposed from those movies in Next Gen.
This will tell us. At the time Star Trek VI The Undiscovered Country was in production, Star Trek The Next Generation had hit its stride, heading towards the end of the monumental fourth season. Due to budget restraints, the Star Trek VI had to repurpose sets from TNG. This ended up leading to Michael Dorn, who played Worf in The Next Generation, appearing in The Undiscovered Country as Worf's ancestor,
Colonel
who defends
Worf.
Kirk and McCoy. Who defends Kirk and McCoy when they are put on trial by the Klingons. Unfortunately, not all of the TNG's actors had a good time on the set.
What?
William Shatner crushes Will Wheaton's dreams.
I have a feeling I'm going to
Shut
enjoy
up,
this.
Right. Poor Will Wheaton got a bad deal when it comes to Star Trek. Not only was his character Wesley Crusher loathed by overzealous fans, but he didn't exactly have a great first encounter with William Shatner. Wheaton, a massive Star Trek fan, approached Shatner, excited to meet his hero, until Shatner opened his mouth. According to Wheaton, Shatner callously told Wheaton that he would have never allowed a kid on his Enterprise. After Shatner walked off, the cast all gathered around Wheaton to console him. Bad for Bill.
That does. I mean, I gotta admit, that does seem kind of like a dick move on Shatner's part. I will say.
It does. It does.
Good Lord.
Oh, here it is. A very specific Shakespeare reference.
Oh boy.
Talk ba, talk bay.
Talk
to
ba.
be or not to be.
That was actually very hard for them to translate into Klingon, because there was no Klingon word for two.
No, there wasn't. But now, and I have this book, there are now versions of Hamlet written completely in Klingon, and I do have Hamlet written in Klingon.
Yep.
No.
How do you write something in Shatner?
You put a shitload of commas in there?
So that when you read it, it sounds like this.
I would kill myself.
Exactly. See, now she's getting it.
Alright. During a tense meal between the crew and the Klingon diplomats, Spock comments on a quip by Chancellor Gorgon. Calling back to a line in Hamlet, Gorgon comments that they wouldn't know Hamlet until they've heard it in the original Klingon. Though Gorgon's dismissal isn't really a callback to a specific Shakespeare play, it is a callback to an attempt to pervert it. According to Meyer, in the behind-the-scenes feature on the... Oh, this is exactly what I was telling you earlier, about how they heard a guy from Germany say it.
I'm traveling to the next one while you're talking.
Okay, I will be there as well.
Which this is just a, hey, go here and talk to this person. That's it.
Right.
So I'm like, well, while we're doing this. Oh, the conference room was also repurposed for Star Trek VI. It was the dining room where they all had dinner in that scene.
Oh, okay.
We got a long fly ahead of us, so we might as well hop in there.
Travel to the,
Dyson Sphere. Yep.
Yeah. A bloody mess. ILM made the return to Star Trek franchise.
Okay, hold on. Pause for just a second. Are you in here yet?
I just got in here.
No fucking way.
Nuh-uh. I see it. Hold up.
For those of you who cannot see this particular part of it, there is another USS Hornet right beside us. Does he have the... is it...
What's the registry? I'm trying to find it. 30033.
Oh, that's so cool, though. 300... Oh, fuck, I went too far. 300339. Huh.
Huh.
That's kind of cool, though. That's not something you see every day.
Right?
Anyway, sorry to derail that for a minute. Seeing as
No, you're fine.
Seeing as how we got quite the drive ahead of us, but
oh yeah.
But that is so cool. Anyway.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
alright, so let's see. ILM.
Ooh, ILM.
ILM made the return to Star Trek franchise
Thank
after
God.
not providing their services on the Final Frontier. Though while most of their work was practical, their one dalliance with CGI caused some issues.
Which
As it
what?
does.
What dalliance with CGI? I didn't notice a problem in any of the CGI that was in that movie.
Yeah. The production used CGI to render Klingon blood, but the color created a bit of continuity issue.
This is why it was pink. That's right. They were having problems with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it was part
According to
that
rumors,
and partly due to the story, so that they could identify somebody at the end, which was originally in the movie, but then they changed the movie to where it was just in the director's cut.
Right. Let's see.
Because the director's cut is a very...
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Very
too different.
film.
Well, it's not. It's actually not too different. Because I had the original, like, theatrical cut on VHS as a kid. And there are some scenes that are in the regular theatrical cut that I have on that VHS that were taken out of, like, the one you could see on streaming or like Paramount Plus or something like that. And I'm like, where the hell did these scenes go? And I vividly remember seeing those scenes and them being in there. And then I watched the director's cut. I'm like, there they are. What the hell? This isn't a director's cut. You took the theatrical cut of the movie, cut some scenes out of it, and added a very small amount of scenes to the... Yeah, I was very confused. I'm kind of pissed that they did that, but whatever.
We were supposed to go to the contested zone, right?
Past the contested zone. We're going all the way through.
Okay. Because I entered the contested zone.
Yeah.
I fly to the other side of it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What? You've already got ahead.
The blood was supposed to be red. However, this happened, the film would have gained an R rating in the end. An R rating.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, the Klingon's blood was changed to a violet hue, despite the fact that Klingon blood had been shown to be red in various episodes of The Next Generation. Yeah.
And so, it was changed to pink.
Which, I mean, not the worst continuity issue Star Trek has ever had.
Right.
Let's be honest. I mean...
But yeah, that was part of it. The other...
wife, if she was still here.
The other part of it was they had to differentiate somebody posing as a Klingon to assassinate the president.
Right.
And is when his blood turned out to be red, that's when they found out, like, hey, this guy's a human. Not... Mm-hmm. Who was actually, believe it or not, Rene Auberjonois.
Really?
If you get a chance, watch the director's cut of the movie. He's fucking in there.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
That's Colonel West. And quite frankly, Mr. President, we can clean their chronometers.
Quite frankly, Mr. President, I don't give a damn.
But yeah, Rene Auberjonois is in that. is in Star Trek 6.
That is awesome. I love that. May he rest in peace. I
Absolutely
fucking love him as Odo. One of my favorite.
And he looks really good in that uniform. Like,
I'm sure.
He looks like
absolutely sure.
Like he's got like the mustache going on. Like he just looks great in that uniform. Like he looks like he was made to wear it.
Well, look at Tuvok.
Oh, that's a good point.
Shit. Tim Russ, when he was on the Enterprise B in that fucking maroon uniform.
Or even when he was on Excelsior, like when they did that flashback. To where he was
Right.
on Excelsior during Star Trek 6.
Right. Like, dear God, God. A uniform
It's just
has the ability
it
to
is
make
just-
anybody look great.
It is just the best uniform in Star Trek, period.
Okay, so I know you've seen
And
Picard.
no, I
Have
will
you
not.
seen season
And no,
2 of
I will
Picard?
not be taking questions. This is not a point for debate.
At all. No debates here.
Don't get me wrong. I
okay.
have some uniforms that are really close seconds, but nothing will ever beat the
Nothing
Monster
compares. No, ever. Have you seen the second season of Picard?
Maroon. I've seen every season of
pretty
Picard.
Okay. The picture in Picard's manner when he first wakes up at the beginning of the second episode,
Mm-hmm.
after... spoiler alert, guys, for those of you that haven't seen Picard yet. After the Stargazer blows up at the end of the first episode, he wakes up back in his home. Do you notice what uniform he's wearing in that oil painting?
We have 3 different methods of closing the rifts.
This is the second season?
This is the second season, second episode. It's an oil
Isn't
painting.
he wearing like
looks
a
at in
black
his
version?
A black version of the Monster Maroons with a off-colored green-ish white turtleneck underneath it.
I thought it was a white turtleneck.
Well, it probably should be a white turtleneck, but of course,
Because
the
I
way
think
the
I've
oil
seen,
painting does,
I think I've seen that painting, and I think it is actually white.
it's kind of got a hue to it though, like a this painting's been around a while. It's
Yeah,
colored,
like
so
it's
the color's starting to fade kind of color.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
So it
But I
looks
think,
kind of greenish, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be white.
Oh wait, decline. No, we're not. Stupid thing. Okay. So we just had to go there. That's all we had to do.
Okay.
So next on the list, one of my favorite missions of this entire freaking game, surface tension. I love surface tension.
The Monster Maroon, just the absolute best uniform, and I would pay to see Picard in it. Oh my god, how much I would pay to see Picard.
We have seen him in it.
Fucking Riker.
We have seen Picard in it. Not the turtleneck version, but we have seen him in it.
That's right.
We saw him with the kind of the crew neck t-shirt kind of deal. But we have seen Picard in that uniform. Yes.
Again, surface tension. Alright, let's see. This one says, enter Cliff Idleman. As Nicholas Meyer was searching for a composer for the project, he went through several demo types. According to the director, he found himself reportedly disappointed, as most of what he was listening to was generic movie music. Thankfully,
Too
Meyer
bad Jerry
eventually
Goldsmith wasn't around.
Oh, fucking right. Thankfully, Meyer eventually stumbled across Cliff Idleman. Meyer was impressed by the young Idleman's work, comparing the sound to iconic Alfred Hitchcock composer Bernard Herrmann. Okay, hold on. I gotta pause real quick because I gotta tell you, as someone who speaks German,
we got the cutscene.
Oh yeah.
I see now my deception has been exposed.
And a great cutscene, mind you.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, look at that beautiful station.
And that was originally the legacy character uniform for this game.
Yes.
So when these cutscenes were rendered, that's what stuff looked like.
Okay.
Welcome to the Delta Quadrant. We are within the solar main sphere, a spherical structure built around a star.
We now know why the sphere generates vast amounts of omega particles. It is designed to use those particles as fuel to jump to any area of space.
And this is where we find out it's only been a year since, well,
we joined Starfleet.
Technically.
Or graduated from the academy.
Since we went forward in time, from our point of view.
That's
if you were playing a regular Starfleet character, it'll only have
You've
been
only
a year
been in
since you.
Starfleet for a year.
Yeah, you've only graduated the academy for about a year.
The Undine are a threat to us all. I propose a summit.
And look at you.
Yeah.
You guys have made captain in a year. I'm proud of you guys. Kirk couldn't even do that shit.
Yeah, that uniform Tuvok is wearing is pretty much a shortened up version of the Vice Admiral coat.
Huh.
I have not been able to find that fucking uniform anywhere because I like that uniform. It looks cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, again, I've got to sit there and say, as someone who speaks German, Bernard Herrmann, the way his name is spelt, is Herrmann.
Herrmann?
Which in German literally translates to Sir Man. Or Mr. Man.
Oh. I was
guy.
I was thinking you were going to say the man or something dumb like that. I mean, the way you kind of say it kind of might as well should be that.
Let's see. Elderman took cues from the works of Stravinsky and Holst to create a darker score for Star Trek VI.
And it was kind of a darker score compared to some of the other movies. It was absolutely like a little bit darker of a score.
And I mean, this movie was, at the time, the darkest Star Trek had ever gotten.
That's a good point.
You know, it's, you know, we didn't get really dark Star Trek until
Deep Space Nine,
Voyager, and moving forward, because Gene always wanted to see a lighter version of the future. He wanted to see a future that everything looked.
And I almost argue, and this is not me saying that I dislike Discovery. Discovery almost made it too dark.
Yes.
Like, they took that a step further when they didn't need to, and definitely should not have.
Yes.
Not to say that they didn't work hard on Discovery, and I'm not happy for it because it brought Star Trek back. But I do think it was a little unnecessary to make it that dark.
Right. Hello, plain simple Garrick.
Arguing with the Bajoran, no doubt.
Where do you want me posted,
Of course. As a Cardassian does.
Where do you want me posted?
And speaking of Gene getting angry about the way Trek has gone,
yeah, he was not consulted for any of the 6 movies after the first one. Or, like, his name was on the credits, that was about it.
That was, yeah. But also, I mean, that was mostly, I believe, due to the fact that he was really starting out with TNG.
He hated the idea for Star Trek II. He absolutely hated it.
Right, yeah. We even discussed that on that episode. Because we've already dealt with Khan. Why the hell do we need to go back to Khan? I mean, you know, but I think, like I said...
Well, and he hated the idea of even space battles.
Yeah. Which, I mean, come on, that's like 90% of Trek.
I mean,
you're in space.
After the original series did not have that many space battles, and even when it did, it was very, I don't want to say watered down, but like it was definitely like lightly salted.
Right. So let's see. Roddenberry and Meyer already didn't get along, as Meyer's more militaristic Starfleet rubbed the humanist Roddenberry the wrong way, which is referenced in both Shatner and Nimoy's memoirs. Once the film was nearly finalized, a near-death Roddenberry viewed a near-final cut. This is where the story is divided. Some people claim that Roddenberry gave the film a thumbs up, but Nimoy and Shatner have written in their memoirs that Gene was enraged by the film, demanding a quarter of the scenes be removed, but he sadly passed away not long after. The film is dedicated to his memory, and Meyer regrets ending his relationship with Gene poorly.
Well, I was about to say that And not to mention, he hated the idea of killing Spock as well.
Oh, yeah.
He hated that so much. And I mean, I can't say I blame him.
No.
As great as
I
Star
can't.
Trek 2 is, I can't say I blame him for feeling that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly. I mean, you know, of course it sets up for everything that we're going to get afterwards. Of course it sets up for, you know, what becomes and what is known as Trek
I was just going.
after. But, yeah, I got to say, you know, it seems like a stupid choice, to be honest.
Absolutely.
And then, furthermore, not only did he hate the fact that they wanted to kill Spock off, he hated getting rid of the Enterprise at the end of the movie.
I suppose.
You can start the
Yep.
presentation.
Of Star Trek 3. Blowing up the Enterprise, seeing the great ship go down like that.
Well, one thing I like has kind of how they rectified it. I think it's in the novelization of Star Trek 3. The Enterprise herself actually gained sentience right before she self-destructed. For just like a millisecond or something. But I mean, to a computer, that's, as Data says, like, that is an eternity.
Right.
And like this might get you a little emotional, but the Enterprise was not, like, it was not sad to be dying, but grateful that she could give her crew the fighting chance they needed, and was able to
No, don't you do this to me.
do one last thing for him.
No, fuck you.
That is in the novelization of Star Trek 3, I believe.
God damn it.
The Empire recognized the Undine threat years ago.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, the Enterprise is as much a character, or even any of the hero ships, they are as much a character in Star Trek as any of the crew.
I would say, in all honesty,
Our fleet stands ready to protect
everybody could have their own opinion of this, no matter what. But if your opinion is not my opinion on this, you're wrong. And it's okay to be wrong, but you're wrong. In my personal opinion, and the only right opinion, the ship is more of a character and more of an important character, more of the main character than anybody else who's in the credits.
Because, I mean, yeah, if you think about it, like, what are people making more compilations of on YouTube? Are they making compilations of the characters? No.
Right.
Like, they are... Like, Star Trek has always been a love of ships, first and foremost, if you ask me.
I think the only ship this doesn't necessarily count for,
Unknown.
and it's only because the way the ship was done up in its certain show. I think the only ship this does not work for is the Defiant in Deep Space Nine. Because...
I mean, I could see why you'd say that.
And here's really why. We don't get the Defiant until what, season 4, season 5?
No,
right?
it was like season 2.
It was season 2?
Mm-hmm.
A significant Undine.
Hell,
it was either season 2 or season 3.
I want to say it's season 3, because I think we had 2 full seasons where the Defiant wasn't a fucking thing. And they would switch out runabouts every time they go do a mission where they needed a ship in the first place. And so you never really got a set ship until the Defiant shows up. And even
Season
by then,
3,
you've already
episode
established-
9.
There we go, yeah.
The title of the episode is Defiant.
Yeah. But up until that point, you've already established for 2 whole seasons and 8 episodes, they don't need a ship. This is about literally just the crew.
Well, I think, I want to say, and correct me on this if I'm wrong, I think they brought the Defiant in because I think fans were getting frustrated that there wasn't a ship. Like, they felt like it was just kind of Like, there's only so many stationary missions you can do, or episodes you can do. So I think they finally had to bring the Defiant in, because we got to get these guys off the station in a better way somehow.
Right. And I mean, like I said, it works for them. You know, it does what they needed to do.
And the ship being designed to fight the Borg, as it's explained in that episode, like, that's almost like a perfect, I would say, ship for Cisco.
Right.
Having been through what he's been through. But I would still kind of argue that the ship is not necessarily more of a character, but I'd say it's like it's equals.
Yeah, and
like,
that's what I mean though. Like I said, for all the other shows, Voyager is more important than Catherine Mulder, than Janeway. The Enterprise is more important than James C. Kirk. The Enterprise is more important than Jean-Luc Picard, because without the Enterprise, those guys would be like every other Starfleet officer we've never fucking heard of. Why have we not heard of them? Because they weren't on the Enterprise. God damn it.
Especially, and like I said, my favorite uniforms are the Monster Maroon, but my favorite Enterprise is the Enterprise D.
Right.
For those of you, and spoiler alert if you have not seen Star Trek Picard, Chris, I already know you know about this because I've told you about this.
Yes.
So, skip ahead like a few minutes if you want to
5-10 minutes.
Skip, yeah, about 5-10 minutes if you want to skip spoiler for Star Trek Picard Season 3. Okay, now that they're gone, the Enterprise D was the only Enterprise to get resurrected.
Yep.
And my feelings when I saw that ship again for the first time, I was in tears. I was in literal tears when that ship came back.
I have not seen it yet. I haven't seen that exact scene yet. I know we talked about it, but I haven't seen that scene yet. I'm working on getting there. But I will say, when I saw... I'm sure I'm going to be in tears, because when I saw Deanna and Riker for the first time...
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you get some good scenes with them again in this next season. You get some good...
Yeah.
Like, heartfelt scenes.
And, dude, the scene where they let... where Data finally gets what he wants, and he's allowed to, deactivate.
Die. Yeah.
Yeah. That scene was like,
and
God damn,
don't worry.
Became human.
In this third season, yes, he does come back, but they're not going against that Data's wishes.
Right.
Because that was...
I figured they want it.
They bring him back in a way that doesn't mess with that particular ending for Data.
Right. And when fucking Picard beams down to Earth, or comes to Earth at the very beginning of the second season, first episode.
Oh.
And he's there on a historical forward street. And where does he go? To building number 10. I was like, you're fucking joking. As soon as I read that plaque, and as soon as I realized what number was on that building, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And you see Guided again.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be the first to say, Whoopi Goldberg and her political views, I have not agreed with, in a long time. And
but
so
Guinan?
There's a lot of reasons but, however, getting to see her as Guided again, getting Guided back, and Guided still working at 10 forward, my God, dude, I'm crying about it just talking about it. I fucking love that. And the fact that, she's facing away from him. He walks in and, let me guess, tea, Earl Grey, hot.
And then he's like, I actually need something a lot stronger.
A little stronger than that. Top
again,
shelf
like
or hooch.
top shelf or hooch, yeah. Hooch.
Hooch.
I believe the occasion calls for hooch.
But
again, and that's what Star Trek Picard Season 2 did really well, that I feel like the first season kind of fell short on. Not that I don't like the first season, but I feel like it fell short in a lot of ways.
I think the first season, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but the show is called Picard, and we haven't really explored Picard until kind of the later half of the first season, and then even then, it's still not exploring Picard until really the second season.
Yeah, well, this third season should just be called Star Trek The Next Generation Season 8, if you ask me, but that's beside the point. Because, I mean, we get a lot of fan service. But fan service is exactly what that show needed.
Right.
Because, I mean, they were, like, I enjoyed the second season, but, again, I felt it was lacking in a lot of areas. Like, there's some really good moments in there. There is. But, again,
But back to the original point, you know, like I said, even though that I haven't seen the Enterprise D again, I haven't gotten there yet, I can only imagine how much I'm gonna fucking cry when I get to see that scene. Because the D is so much the main character. The D is everything in that show.
Absolutely.
So, you know, don't get me wrong. I love Picard. I love Riker. They wouldn't have been themselves if they were on any other ship.
Absolutely.
You know? So,
man, I want to tell you a line they said at the end of the season, but I can't because it pretty much says what you just said. Yeah. But it's said by somebody, and it's it's gonna, like, talking about what we're talking about now. Like you're just gonna be like, you're gonna be a crying little girl at that point. Like
the only thing that I could think of that very much tells you how much the ships are a part of the show and more main characters than anybody else is one of the very last lines said in the very first Star Trek Next Generation episode, Farpoint Encounter Part 2. So I guess the second one. The second episode. It is, well, no ship, but she's got the right name. Treat her like a lady.
Hey, and she'll always bring you home.
Thank you, buddy. I couldn't get through it. Said by the great Admiral.
I actually had somebody make up a dedication plaque for the ship that I use in my stories. The ship who is very much a character in and of herself. And that's the reason that's the reason I have this quote on that plaque. On the dedication plaque for the USS Firefly. The quote under it, instead of saying like "too boldly go where no one has gone before" or anything like that, it says "treat her like a lady and she'll always bring you home."
She'll always bring you home.
And that is on the dedication plaque of the USS Firefly.
That's awesome. But yeah, you know, it's scenes like that and things like that where there are certain episodes, especially like Next Generation. Next Generation was a very character-heavy show.
Absolutely. And even if you think about, like, the episode with Scotty.
Right.
And I actually served on 2. This is the ship that I remember. This is the one I missed the most.
And that scene, God, that gets me. I love that scene. I love that episode. It is my favorite Next Generation episode. Just because, you know, it's so much. There's so much there in that episode.
I mean, there's so much character development for like both Scotty and Geordi, and even the rest of the characters, just trying to figure out where he fits, like where he could fit and what he can do. And Scotty just feeling like he's, to quote the name of the episode, he's a relic of an older time and he doesn't feel useful anymore. Which is something that we all go through.
Right.
And it's an episode that very much hits home. Especially for some of like the fans of the original series. Especially at that particular moment in time.
Right.
Because a lot of those fans were getting a lot older, and it's just like that. So that episode ended up hitting home a lot, and
that and you know, and then that scene where he's just sat there on the bridge and he's got a bottle, and he goes, "Here's to you, lads." You know, at that point in time, Scotty believes he's the last one alive. I mean, but by all means, you know.
I mean,
whereas the actor would be, I think, he was technically the second one of the original group to pass away, right?
I believe so. I think DeForest was first.
Yeah, DeForest was first because he died.
I think he was the oldest out of them too. I want to say, but I could be wrong.
He had 20 years. He had 20 years on all of them.
Yeah. So he was the first, and then I think it was DeForest that went next.
Yeah, so DeForest died in '94, the same year that Next Generation ended filming, and then James Doohan was 2005. But yeah, it just, you know, but like I said, even though he was like the second member of the original crew to die, he's still very much at that point in time, looking at it Scotty's perspective, he's been in a buffer for 175 years. There's no way any of his friends are still around.
Well, and that quote that really hits home for a lot of people, even sometimes with as young as we are, like that quote hits for me a lot too.
Yeah.
And even just the subject matter itself hits home, because there are some times when we ourselves just don't feel useful anymore.
Right.
Feel like the world's leaving us behind. Which also, again, to kind of bring this full circle, ties right back into Star Trek 6.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even the quote from Spock, have we grown so old and so inflexible that we have outlived our usefulness? Would that constitute a joke?
Now that's another one, you know, and like, you know, all of these moments are about to start hitting me because I played baseball growing up, right? Like I said earlier, I was on my way to the minor leagues. I was going to play for the Frisco Rough Riders before I fucked off my shoulder rotator cuff. Now, I'm getting to a point, my daughter wants to play softball. I'm going to be stepping off the field. I mean, technically I've already stepped off the field, but now I have one of two things. I could either coach or just sit and watch and cheer her on. I have not a problem with either one, honestly. But I know there are going to be moments where it's like, God, I wish I could get one more swing. You know, I wish I could get one more pitch in.
Absolutely.
So, you know, those quotes are, you know, God, it's going to get me.
And the fact that
more than it already does.
I was about to say, the fact that I have pretty much memorized all these quotes, and I even do a little inflection with them because that's just what I do.
I will cover you.
Who is this? Communications are damaged.
Come on.
One moment. I suppose that's a valid question.
Admiral, the Undine. Stay alert for more imposters.
Where's the next one? maybe one of his other lackeys. I can take him down.
And
There we
if I was about to say if Relic is one of your favorite episodes, then another novel that would be a really good to consider would be the novel Crossover, Star Trek: The Next Generation crossover.
I can feel their anger.
So,
which I think I actually do have that book.
oh, I definitely have it, and I have read it.
Yeah.
Lots of times.
Right.
Spock ends up getting in trouble while undercover with the Romulans.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Enterprise D has to go in and rescue him. Well, who else do they bring with them but Admiral McCoy? Not to mention Scotty, who is a little bit younger, of course, because thanks to the transporter. Or at least physically younger, anyhow. You know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
He ends up stealing the USS Yorktown from the museum.
Oh.
Which the Yorktown has the original bridge model from the USS Enterprise. Constitution class. And the reason Scotty figures it out is because there's a dent in the deck plating that he remembers.
Yeah.
And I don't remember because it does reference an episode, and I don't remember which episode it is, but there is a dent in the deck plating that Scotty specifically remembers that he made from falling into it or something like that. And then he realizes he's back on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And he steals the Yorktown to go help Spock. But if you ask me, it is the best Star Trek book.
Yeah.
Because Yorktown had lost her bridge module before she had gone into the museum. So they had ended up taking the one, when they refitted the USS Enterprise, they still had that bridge module. They still had that bridge module lying around.
Yeah.
So they took the bridge module from the Enterprise and put it on the Yorktown so that she could be a museum piece.
Thank you. Now maybe we should... Commander Agate.
And another reason I love Relic so much is, one, they rebuilt that bridge for the show. Because again, like I said, back in the 60s, once the show was done, that was it.
I thought they'd only rebuilt a part of the bridge. Like just the parts he sat at, and the rest of it was like stock footage or something like that.
That being said,
so the center console where Sulu and Chekhov. A Horus chair, Scotty's chair.
Like I thought they'd only rebuilt like a part of the bridge for that, like not the whole thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, they didn't rebuild the whole thing, but like Kirk's chair, Scotty's chair, Horus chair, and then the center console is what they rebuilt, and then one of the walls, because when you first go in there.
I thought that all they did was just like they showed like a painting behind Picard or something like that, or like digitally added it in or something along those like green screened it in.
Yeah. But like I said, like one of the like little console areas off the side, like I think Scotty's console, because remember that's where his bottle is sitting at when Picard first comes in.
So that part they definitely rebuilt.
Yeah.
So those are the
parts they rebuilt.
For...
Everything else was green screened or like
like a painting or something like that.
But what I love is like them rebuilding that set. The only thing from the original set that survived was Kirk's chair.
Right.
Everything else was pretty much thrown away or repurposed, torn down and repurposed. So when they rebuilt those portions, they held on to them this time rather than getting rid of them, and I think some of them are on display at different museums.
Right. That
Like,
makes sense
I
to me.
know-
That sounds right.
Yeah, because I know like the center console where Sulu and Chekhov would be sitting at is in the Seattle Sci-Fi Museum, along with Kirk's chair, the original chair from the show, not from Next Gen's rebuild. I know those are both in that museum, and I know that for a fact because I want to go to that museum
Oh, I was about to say
specifically to see
you've been there?
those pieces. No, I haven't been there yet, but in all honesty, me and you should definitely do an episode of the podcast there. We should go to do an episode of the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. Or, counterpoint. Good point. Counterpoint. We should do an episode of the podcast in Ticonderoga, the original series set.
Oh, yes. And if you get the chance to come to Texas one of these days, I'll take you to the NASA Space Center and we can do an episode there.
Ooh,
where we can actually sit inside one of the original shuttlecrafts from the show.
I like that
I
idea.
believe it is the Galileo.
That would sound right.
It is at the Houston Space Center.
Yeah, didn't the guy down there in Texas, didn't he have the original one?
He found
and he
it
rebuilt
sitting,
it?
Yeah, I can't remember where he said he found it at, but he found it. And ended up rebuilding it all. Because what was left of it, like, it was falling apart. The paint was so goddamn faded. So he rebuilt as much of it as he could.
Right. Like he restored as much of it as he could and then just had to fill in the gaps.
Right. And then when he went to repaint it, he got in contact with one of the original set designers.
Right.
To get the correct color paints for it.
Phonos may not have much time.
Well, and another cool thing that I got to do, I don't know if you've gotten to do this before, but at the last FanX, they had a replica shuttle from the Next Generation.
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten to do anything like that, unfortunately.
Okay. Because I know you'd been to FanX in the past, but I don't know if that had been there before.
No,
like you can see it like on my Facebook profile picture. It's me sitting in that shuttle.
Yeah, and I remember you telling me about that too.
That shuttle had a fully not interactive, but it had a full light up interior and everything. I mean, these guys went the distance.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the chair. It looked like they had the chairs right. There was controls up top, and the control board on the. It was a detailed little shuttle.
That's awesome.
And it was just so cool because I felt like I was actually in a shuttlecraft, and I was you could not wipe the smile off my face. That smile in that picture, that I didn't even have to do that. That was just genuine.
Right.
Because I was just so happy to be in there.
Dude, I remember, my first Star Trek convention, the one in 2016, my first convention, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The 50th anniversary tour. Like I said, I'm in my. It's Sunday, so it's the day that the original series guys were going to be there. It was Kirk and Chekhov, and I'd gotten the photo op with both of them, and so I'm in my original series outfit, and just before they snap the photo, William Shatner leans over to me and he goes, "That uniform looks good on you, Captain Kirk." And, dude, it is the biggest smile I've had in a long time.
I was about to say, I'll get to my story here in just a second.
Yeah.
But funny story about the 50th anniversary. That came out when I was in my senior year of high school. Right. Oh man, did everybody at my high school get sick of me talking about Star Trek, because holy shit, I was so goddamn excited.
Dude,
oh man.
I'm sure...
Even my mother got a little sick of me. My dad was all over it, because he was the one who introduced me to Star Trek in the first place.
Right.
one of those, like, the student becomes the master kind of scenarios, because I now know more about it than he does.
Right.
Like, anytime anybody needs Star Trek knowledge, they come to my ass.
Right. Well, see, my mom was like, you know, my mom's the one that found the convention in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, she'd come in and she goes, "Hey, I know you love Star Trek and the 50th anniversary's here. How would you like to go meet some of the actors?" I'm like, "Bullshit." She goes, "Nope, they're coming to Dallas for a 50th anniversary tour. How would you like to go?"
Like,
you know,
you're
I used to do Star
kidding
Trek
me.
conventions.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hell yeah!" She goes, "Here, I can't get us like the best tickets, but I can get us some decent ones. Let's go."
Right.
Here's everybody who's going to be coming. I can only afford this much, so let's price it out the best as you can. Pick and choose now, so we can go ahead and get the stuff we want to get. So when we get to the convention, when it happens, we're just there to have fun and get the things we paid for. I was like, fuck yeah. So that's how that went for me, and I'm like, oh my god. And then we got there, and that convention is why I think Deep Space Nine and specifically Nog holds such a place in my heart because of
Absolutely.
Aaron Eisenberg. Which I'll tell that story in just a minute. You said you had one.
So, my cool interaction with the Star Trek cast also happened this last year at FanX. And I know I've told you this story probably 8 times by now.
Yeah.
But it was with it was with Jonathan Frakes. It was the second day of the convention, so it was the day before the last day. So because I saved my Star Trek uniform for the last day.
Right.
And I was in my ODST cosplay that I built myself. It took me like 3 months to build the stupid thing, but I built it. And like, it wasn't the best. It wasn't like the best. I'll be honest with myself. Like, it was cool, but it wasn't the best. But
I mean, it looks better than what I could do, but I don't know how to use EVA film, so.
Yeah. And I had only just started to learn how to use EVA film. That's why, like I said, it's rough. It is really rough.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get my autograph pictures with Jonathan Frakes out of the way just real quick, since I had a photo op with him the next day.
Yeah.
So I get to the table, and like, I'm talking with him. I'm like, I've seen you since I was, about yay high. And he was just like, and like I told him, I'm like, you are the reason like I grew a beard and so on and so forth. And he was like he was eating it up. Like, he was like, that's so awesome. And then he looks me up and down, and he's like, did you build this costume yourself? It looks amazing. And I shit you not, I just about burst into tears right there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Commander Riker himself, like, he was like, you did such a great job. And I was like, oh my god. And he was like, that is just so cool. And then the next day, when I go in for the photo op, he recognizes me. He was like, it's good to see you again. I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. I'm like, my whole fucking year has been made. Like,
right.
From my second favorite character besides Kirk is Riker. I love Picard, I love Sisko, but my second favorite character is Riker.
Right. My second favorite in behind Nog is LeVar Burton and Geordi LaForge. And so I'm going to tell my Geordi story real quick before my Nog one. But Geordi, this was what now 3 years ago now would be. That Juneteenth and Father's Day fell on the same day. And it fell on the convention Sunday. And again, I had saved my uniform for the very last day because I knew I was meeting Geordi and Data, and I was getting a photo op with them, so I'd saved my uniform. And instead of wearing my command, I wore my engineering version of it. Because, I mean, hell, you're meeting 2 engineers, you better wear your engineering yellow. You don't wear your
absolutely.
command to show them up. Not at all. No thank you. So
I mean, command is the only
switched
uniform I
lanes
have. I wouldn't have a choice, but that's beside the point.
Right. Right. But, you know, I had the engineering, and so it was for the film series, so I bumped myself up from lieutenant on that to lieutenant commander.
Right.
Matching their ranks in the Navy. And,
well, at least matching Geordi's rank.
right.
I don't remember Nog ever getting up
there.
that high, but I could be wrong.
Right. I remember getting there, and LeVar Burton looks at me and he goes, "Oh, hi, how are you doing?" And I present him my technical manual, which I wanted him to sign.
Star Trek The Next Generation technical manual. I have at least one of them, if not 2 or 3.
And he sees my daughter already in the stroller, and she's passed out at this point in time.
Because
he looks at me, and the first things out of his mouth were, "Happy Father's Day and Happy Juneteenth."
Of course, him being a father himself.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're
of course
gonna.
I said it back to him. I said Happy Father's Day and Happy Juneteenth to you as well. And that was all I could get out at that point in time. I had to take a minute. We were standing with him for like 5-10 fucking minutes because I couldn't speak for a while. But I had something I wanted to tell him. But it was that moment, getting told Happy Father's Day by the chief engineer of the USS Enterprise D. The chief engineer of the USS Enterprise
E.
Geordi motherfucking LaForge.
And as we know from Voyager and from this game, captain of the USS Challenger.
Challenger, yes. And he was the only one to do it that day. The only one to, of all the stars we met that day. Not to say that any of the others, were, assholes about it, but he was the only one that did it.
Right.
Which made it even more special. That's someone that means so much to me, because outside of Geordi LaForge,
he's
I
also
grew up on Reading Rainbow.
Yeah. I mean, I found out about Reading Rainbow after Star Trek, but that's beside the point.
Right.
So I was like, what the hell is Geordi doing? When I was a kid. My mother, being a Star Trek fan, she liked it, but, she never really pushed it on me, Right.
My parents were more or less like, hey, this is something I'm watching. If you're interested, you can watch with me. Otherwise, just go about your day. You'll find out about it on your own if you want to. But, which I think is what makes my love for everything Trek so much more special, is the fact that I was able to, more or less, come to it on my own. But, again, my mother was a teacher, and she was an English major at that. So I watched Reading Rainbow at school, and then I watched it at home for fun because
I remember
I got to tell him that.
I remember the first episode of Reading Rainbow I saw was the Star Trek The Next Generation special they did.
Yeah, and Hannah, I think, was in that same boat with you. Is in that same boat with you.
But, of course, I had already seen Star Trek The Next Generation by that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute, that's Story. And then I watched some other episodes of Reading Rainbow. I'm like, he did this also? Like, what the hell?
Target that ship and fire all weapons.
And
because I thought they had just gotten him for like a special thing they did or something like that, was my original thought with that.
But yeah, I remember, when I finally got the chance to talk, I was like, as much as I love you as Geordi LaForge, I gotta be honest, Reading Rainbow has been one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. I can't wait for my daughter to grow up and be able to understand and comprehend so I can show her Reading Rainbow as well. And at that moment, I had made LeVar Burton cry. I had made Geordi LaForge tear up. And the only words he could say to me at that point in time were, thank you for that. Because Reading Rainbow was his child, that's his baby, that's his first thing he ever fought for.
Well, and another thing, like, most of these actors, most of these stars, like, They love us as much as we love them, if not more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think Jonathan Frakes falls into a category where I'm going to put Rob Paulson. Kevin Conroy belonged to this group. Those three guys, Mark Hamill's in that group. Those four guys, fans are friends they have not met yet. If you have gone to a convention, you've met one of those amazing men. You are no longer a fan. You are their friend, and they're going to treat you as such with every second you give them.
Absolutely.
And they're going to give you as much time as they possibly can while also trying to get to the next person because, of course, you want everyone to have time with you. And you have so much time limited each day for however many days you're going to be there. So, you gotta share them with other people, but you're going to get your time. And it's going to be worth it. But yeah, these guys, like you said, they love us as much as we love them, if not sometimes more. And like I said, when I had made Jordy tear up, I was like, oh my god, what have I done?
Right.
I made Jordy LaForge cry. I was like, oh shit. But my Aaron Eisenberg story and why Nog is my favorite character overall. Because don't get me wrong, I love Leonard Nimoy. I love Spock. I love Dr. McCoy, and I love DeForest Kelly. I love Geordi LaForge, and I love LeVar Burton. Aaron Eisenberg and Nog. One, I already loved Nog because he's the troubled kid that decides he's time to turn around. Do something with my life. It's time to not play around anymore. I need to grow up, and I want to make something of myself. And I felt that same way. Because as a child of a teacher who taught in the same district I went to school in, as a child of a Navy sailor, there wasn't shit I could get away with. So I rebelled every other fucking way that I could.
Mm-hmm.
So until eventually I was like, fuck it. It's time to start doing something with my life, and it's time to start being something. Putting my love into something, finding something for me, and I found baseball, and I loved the fuck out of it. And then since baseball, I've had kids, and I have a wife, and I have an amazing job that I'm doing now, voice acting and acting, and I just, oh God, I love it. So, Nog very much resonated with me as it went. And then I met Aaron Eisenberg. And I remember when the first part of the day, it was Friday. My mother was at work because, of course, she's a teacher. This is the year after my senior year. I'm 19 years old at this point in time. So I don't have to worry about school. My dad decides to take me. Just because I had not yet bought my own car. So my dad takes me up there, and he decides to walk around with me for a little bit. He'd never been to a Star Trek convention, but he did enjoy Trek. Not as much as me or my mom, but he enjoys it. So he decided to walk around with me, which I thought was really cool, and he was going to do that until he went to go pick up my mom, and she'd switch off with him and finish the day with me. We went to the vendor's hall, or into the autograph hall, and Aaron Eisenberg was sit there, and we walk over to his table, and he starts a conversation with me while I'm just kind of looking around, and he goes, so who's that with you? I like his jacket. His jacket's really cool. For reference, my dad wears a flight jacket that has a bunch of patches on it from his time in the service. And so that's what I tell Aaron Eisenberg. He's been in the military, or at this point he was still in. I was like, he's in the military, this is his jacket, all those patches represent different times and different things while he was in the service. And he goes, oh, that's really cool. And then he starts talking to my dad and asking him about his patches and asking him, what means what, how did you earn these? Just out of a general curiosity. You know, fuck, how do you do that? These things look cool. Can I get one? Would it be disrespectful if I got one? You know, how, you know, what do all they mean? What, you know, how do you earn these? How do you get these? What, you know, all the questions, like just asking everything.
Right.
Which I thought was cool. My dad was loving it. You know, normally my dad's not one of those guys that likes to talk about his military service. No, he's not as bad as the Vietnam vets can get, but he still does not like to talk about it all that much.
Sure.
Because, you know, some things happen. You know, you just don't want to remember those things, so you try not to talk about it at all so that those memories don't pop up. As a former firefighter and EMT, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad just was talking about it as much as he could. And for the first time ever, someone thanked my dad for his service, and he didn't say, yeah, sure. He shook Aaron's hand, and he said, thank you so very much, and thank you for the joy that your character brings my son. That was the first time I'd ever heard those kinds of words out of my dad's mouth. And that was cool. It meant a lot to me, because it was like, you know, hey, I'm sharing this with my son, and I'm proud to be sharing this with my son, without him saying those words, you know?
Yeah.
So I loved that. Fast forward the very next day, I'm in my Deep Space Nine uniform. Mom's with me now, because it's her first day off. It's Saturday. We go to finally get an autograph from Aaron Eisenberg. I realized that one of the other guys that I wanted to get had to cancel, Brett Spiner. Different story for a different day.
Did he?
So I chose Aaron Eisenberg instead. He did. Not once, but twice. Actually, 3 times, technically.
We'll get to that story here in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'll wait to tell that tomorrow, since it is next week, since next week is Next Generation Day.
Good point. Yeah,
but,
we've really gone off on a tangent this time, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I think this makes the podcast better. You know what? Sue us.
Absolutely.
Don't worry, please. We're not worth shit.
Don't worry. I will title the podcast accordingly. I haven't figured that part out yet, but I'll get there. I've got time. I'm still editing the first episode, so leave me alone.
But anyway, so we go back to Aaron Eisenberg. You know, and I instead of getting Brett Spiner, I was going to get Aaron Eisenberg. I'm fine with that. I'm okay. So I go with my mom this time, and he remembers me. He goes, oh, hey, different uniform today. I like it. It looks great on you. This must be your mom. What does mom do for a living? And I go, well, mom's a teacher. And he immediately looks to my mom, and he says, sorry. He says,
it's totally okay.
Thank you for being a teacher, because nobody could do anything without people like you. You mean the world to me. You should mean the world to everyone else. Thank you for being a teacher. What do you teach? What grade? Starts going through the questions with her, just as he did my dad. And immediately I knew that Aaron Eisenberg is just this guy who is filled with love and admiration for everybody.
Yeah,
that allows him to do what he does. For the fans that love him, he wants to talk to you and get to know you for more than just the guy going, yeah, hey, I like you on Deep Space Nine, or, you know, I like you on this show or this show. No, it's very much no. Okay, that's cool. So tell me about you. What do you do? And,
yeah,
you know, that was really kind of the first person that, you know, kind of put it to me. As young as I was, okay, look, let's all be honest here. Teachers are responsible for everybody.
Absolutely.
Aaron Eisenberg's right. Without teachers, nobody could do anything. Because we wouldn't know a damn thing. But you don't think about that. It's not
No.
really the forefront of your mind unless you are a teacher yourself. And so hearing that for the first time, that kind of clicked it in my brain. Holy shit. You know? It kind of clicked it to know that my mom technically is a superhero in a way, you know? And so it very much, that meant so much to me. Because my mom's daily life as a teacher, for at that point in time, she was general education. And the students wouldn't listen to her. Administration wouldn't listen to her. Parents would berate her, wouldn't listen to her. Pretty much nobody gives her the time of fucking day that she deserves. Other than us at home, but even then, I'm a freaking teenage kid, still in my rebellion phase, yet. And, well, just coming out of my rebellion phase, I should say. But I'm a sticking teenager. My sister's a teenager, full swing in her rebellion phase. You know? So she's not really getting a lot of respect at home as it was. So that moment, my mom finally getting the respect.
Hey,
and from someone who...
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
You need to go help kids get out of the car.
Okay, I will be there in just a second, my love. But real quick.
Sorry, she just put that in the chat.
Mom,
I'm like, I better let him know.
I see that now. Yeah. But to see my mom finally get the respect she deserves, honestly, is what really... I mean, not only just my dad, but my mom as well, and then the questions he would ask me, you know, he became one of my favorite actors ever. And I'll be honest, when I heard about his passing in 2019, dude, I took a few days away from work to kind of process that, and then I sent a letter to his agent, hoping that it would get to some sort of memorial that someone would put for him that basically was just a thank you to him. So I'm going to go help get kids out of the car, guys. I'll be right back.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna talk at you a bit. I do not have nearly as many cool stories as TGTC does. He had the opportunity to go to a lot more than I did, especially just being where he is. But, I mean, like we said earlier, these actors, these stars, they love us as much as we love them. Because without us as the fans, we wouldn't have pretty much any of the stuff we do today. And for them to even just give us the time of day is an amazing thing. I don't really know how to vamp from here, so we'll just kind of edit this as we go. And as I said, my love of Star Trek began at a very, very young age. I mean, and you can ask my mother. I was, as I've told TGTC many times, I was saying Enterprise before I was saying Mom. And you can ask my mother, and she will tell you that. That's how you know that's the goddamn truth.
I still think that's fucking great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I tell that story, and she just kind of looks, and she goes, yeah, he did. Like, she doesn't even try to deny. She's like, no, you didn't. And no, I did. Like, there's no contesting that.
Apparently mine was elephant. But, I mean, that's my favorite animal, but that's a different story.
That's an entirely different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, because when I was, shortly after I was born, it was the circumstance that I would spend 3 hours with my dad before going to my mom's parents, because they both had full-time jobs at that point, not working from home or anything like that. My mom started work from home when I got a little bit older. But for like until I was about 2 or 3, I would spend the first 3 hours of my morning with my dad, and we just watch all the stuff he was into. I mean, like Star Trek, James Bond, you name it. That's what we were doing in the mornings, like just playing and watching that. So yeah, my first words were Enterprise and Bond before I was saying Mom, which my mother annoyed my mother to no end. As one can understand.
Oh, yeah. Say Mama Enterprise. Damn it.
Enterprise. Or something along those lines.
Mama! Star Trek.
Say Dada, say Dada. With wine and pasta.
Oh no, I was saying Dad, Enterprise, and Bond all before I was saying Mom. It like I said, it annoyed my mother to no end, and she will tell you that is the case.
Oh, last time in these uniforms, buddy.
I know, the end of an era.
Are you changing uniforms based off of the movie that y'all are doing?
Based off of the series, movie, yeah.
Whatever the hell we're doing right at the moment.
But thank you guys for joining us. As always, we love seeing you guys. We love to talk to you guys. We love this podcast. For any actual fans of this podcast we got up there, we'd love to hear from you guys. Hit us up on YouTube or Twitch. TGTC Studios for me. Captain Hudson for Captain Hudson.
Yeah, that was pretty self-explanatory.
I believe on all platforms. I believe on all platforms for you as well, right?
For YouTube and Twitch, yes.
Right. Dude, we should make a TikTok page and some other pages for the podcast. So I'll get started on a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, I'll get started on a TikTok page. I feel like I'm really good at setting those up right now.
Okay, if you set up TikTok, I'll go ahead and set up like a Facebook page for us or an Instagram.
Yeah. And then one of these
for
days,
you guys to find us, 2 Captains One Pod. Simple as that. We'll make that the Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and let you guys know.
And all the socials.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
No? Okay. Dude, my son just...
What, I was about to say, would you fart or something?
Yeah, he just ripped a fucking good one right next to me.
he just... He was just like, here's what I think of your podcast, Dad.
Right. Well, nerds to you. But, yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Next Thursday, Next Generation begins.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
And you know what? With Next Generation, because it's a longer series than the original series, here's what I'm thinking. 7 episodes for just the series. Each season gets its own episode.
Okay, hold on. Let me look through the actual mission episodes here. I don't think we have that much content. We might be able to make it work.
If we slow down on the missions.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Alright, guys, until next time, TGTC Studios signing off.
Captain Hudson signing off.
My God, dude.
He's just a farty little butthead, isn't he?
He is just letting him rip.
Anyway.
Well, there we go, guys. We'll see y'all next Thursday. You guys have a good night.